Today, we're going to be talking about how taking breaks increases your energy. So, I used to coach for another coaching company and I would coach for them 20 hours a week. And so, the way that I initially set up my schedule was I would coach from 7 to 10 without any breaks, just 3 hours straight. So, I would just coach person after person after person after person. And then after I finished, I would feel so tired and so exhausted that I would just need to go take a break because I had been focused for so long without a single break. So after a while, I started to realize like what would actually happen if I started taking breaks in between those hours instead of just going from 7 to 10 just completely straight. So what I decided to do was just try like these 5 minute breaks after every hour. So I would coach from like 7 to 8 and then 8:05 to 9:05. And so I would just put in these 5 minute breaks. Now, it would actually create me being done later. And so my brain actually was like, oh, I don't know. Like, I want to go ahead and finish. I don't want to just extend it for another 10 or 15 minutes. Like, I want to just go ahead and get it done. But I was like, let me just try it. Let me just experiment. Let me see what happens. And here's what happened is after I was done with those 3 hours, even though it took me longer because I was adding in these breaks, I actually had more energy and didn't feel the need to take like this long extended break after I got done with my calls. And so what I was also then able to do was actually coach 4 hours and then just be done for the day. So instead of doing like three and then maybe doing another one in the afternoon, I was able to just coach an hour, break 5 minutes, coach an hour, break 5 minutes, coach an hour, break 5 minutes, and then coach the last hour. And so again, what I noticed is I started to feel better because I was taking more breaks in between instead of just trying to get it all done and then be done for the rest of the day. So again, even though it took me a little bit longer, which it wasn't even that much longer, right? It was like another 15 or 20 minutes or whatever it was, it actually allowed me to feel and have more energy. So I want you to think about like if you run all the way to empty and then you have to fill it all the way up instead of like, okay, I'm going to use some energy and then I'm going to replenish it and then I'm going to use some energy and then I'm going to replenish it. You don't actually get to the point where you feel so drained because you're taking these breaks in between. So I want you to look at your day, your life. Where can you start adding in these breaks? Now, I don't want you to make this complicated because for me, I wasn't like, oh, I'm going to take a 15-minute break every hour and then I'm going to extend it for like a whole extra hour. It's like, what if I just tried 5? What would be different? What would be different if I just got up, walked around, got something to drink, went to the bathroom, stepped outside for a minute or two? I made it really simple. So just start to see like, how can you start implementing these breaks? And again, it can also be something very simple, like just pausing and taking a few deep breaths. So every time I finish recording a podcast episode, I actually just pause and take a few deep breaths. Now, sometimes after some of them, I take a longer break and sometimes it's just a deep breath, but I make sure just to give myself a moment, just to start noticing where like maybe you're washing dishes. How can you just like take a few deep breaths to just give yourself a little bit more of a break? How can you just stop, get up from your desk, walk around? Like, how can you start to create these breaks so that you increase your energy and are able to refuel throughout the day instead of getting all the way to the bottom and then feeling drained and then having to replenish the energy? But oftentimes when we're drained, we don't even feel like replenishing it. We just kind of feel like laying there and scrolling on our phone or watching TV or just avoiding the whole thing. So if you can start to take those breaks to replenish throughout the day, you're going to notice that you're going to feel so much better. When you understand how your brain works, it makes it so much easier to work with your brain. I want you to think about how you're currently taking action. If you don't understand how your brain works, it's like you're swimming up the current. It's so much harder. Whereas if you just turned around, then you could actually swim so much easier because you would be working with your brain. If this is something you want to learn about, go to successbykayla.com to sign up and get instant access to my Why You Aren't Taking Action video.